Okay, so while we're all staying home and staying safe, we're going to be, Homestart are going to be posting some ideas of activities you can do with your young child. Today we're going to be thinking about 0 to 18-month-old children and about developing their listening skills and their communication skills. So this one's a really simple one to do and can be done very similarly for all of the ages. The first thing you need to do, so it's all about listening to the noises that are around our homes or in our gardens. So we need to turn off all the other distracting noises. So turn off the radios and the televisions and the music. And then we're going to think about walking around with the baby and describing the noises that we can hear. So once again, I'll split it down into the different age groups. So the first age group is the 0 to 6 months old. So as I say, we're going to turn off all the distracting noises. And you're going to carry them round the house or round the garden listening for the noises that you can hear. And if you come across, say, a fridge that's making a humming noise, you can describe the noise. Say, oh, it's the fridge. The fridge is making a humming noise, and make the noise. If there's a loud noise that startles baby, that's okay. Just make sure you describe it. Say, oh my goodness, that was a surprise. That's a dog. So describe what you're hearing. And talk about the different noises. Make sure you leave plenty of quiet time so they can really listen, and so that you can really listen as well, because there's actually more noise going on than we realise quite often. If the noise suddenly stops, so we know that sometimes the washing machine noise might stop, or the fridge noise might stop, or the dog might stop barking, you can say, oh, it's stopped, and then keep a nice quiet space so they can hear for the silence. If there's no noise, so it might be that you've got a really quiet house or that your garden is particularly quiet, just comment on quiet, but then go quiet yourself as well, so they can really listen for the silence. So that's basically the same for all of the different ages. As they get a bit older, you can increase the description words that you're using. So the 6 to 12 months old, you can say, I can hear a bird, or I can hear a dog, or I can hear a car. So start describing in those terms as to what the noises that you can hear. Once again, if baby is startled by a noise, you describe what it is. So, oh my goodness, that was a car, that was noisy, and talk about what it was. That was a surprise. So don't make a big fuss about it, but describe what it is and what they're hearing. If you can find a noise that baby can control, so I'm thinking about the doorbell or a flush of a toilet, so you can actually make the noise, then that's really good, because you can describe it and then make the noise and then watch for their reaction. And then once again, if the noise suddenly stops, that you're listening to the washing machine or the tumble dryer and it comes to an end, you can say, oh, it stopped, so that they know that you're talking about the noise that they can hear. For the slightly older children, so the 12 to 18 months, it's pretty much the same. You can talk about cupping the ear to listen, so that they know you're talking about listening and using their ears. You can use phrases like, going to turn on our listening ears, so they get used to that, and that's going to really help them as they come into the toddler time, and when you really want them to start listening to what you're saying. You can talk about turning on your listening ears and listening with their ears, so they can start really understanding those things at sort of 12 to 18 months old. And then once again, when it's the noise stops, say that it's stopped, and then if it's quiet, just talk about, oh, it's very quiet, can you hear any noises, and then just leave a nice long silence. So it's about turning off all other distractions, really focusing on what they can hear. For example, I'm sat in the garden because it's just a glorious day. So I'm sat in the garden and I can hear lots of different bird sounds. I can hear, I live near a farm, so I can hear tractors coming and going. I can hear the road in the distance. So if I was with baby, I would just sit quietly and then say, oh, I can hear a bird. I can hear a bird. Tweet, 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 and then describe the noise. And it's just really good for babies to start that communication. So a lot of communication, or communication starts with listening. So they're talking and their vocal skills will all start with their listening skills. So this is really helping them tune in their ears, listening to their environment and listening to what's going on. Okay, have fun.